My dear friends, if today you feel stuck, confused, overwhelmed, let me tell you something. Your dream life is not far away. It's not hiding in some distant land. It's one decision, one habit, one courageous moment away. People think success happens suddenly. It never does. Success is a slow dance between discipline and desire, between consistency and clarity, between who you are and who you are willing to become. Let me start by telling you a simple truth. Your life will only rise to the level of the standards you set for yourself. If you keep saying, someday, your dream will remain someday. If you keep waiting for motivation, you may wait forever. But the moment you decide, enough, from today I change, that is the moment your dream life begins. Think of a seed. When you plant it, nothing happens for a while, no movement, no sign of progress. But underground, roots are being formed. Strength is being built. Foundation is being prepared. That's your life. Many times you feel unseen. You feel ignored. You feel like nothing is happening. But my friend, God is making your roots stronger, your foundation deeper, your character wiser. Dream life isn't created when people clap for you. It's created when no one is watching, when you are alone with your habits, your rituals, your discipline. Some people pray for success, but they forget you cannot pray for a mango and then plant a lemon seed. Your results will always match your actions. If you want a dream life, you need dream habits. You need dream discipline. You need dream thinking. Because life responds to who you become, not what you wish. Let me remind you something important. Your dream was not given to everyone. It was given to you because only you are capable of bringing it to life. So stop comparing your journey with someone else's highlight reel. Everyone blooms at their own time. The sunflower doesn't look at the rose and panic. It grows in its own season, in its own rhythm, with its own beauty. And so will you. Every morning, ask yourself 3 questions. When you decide with clarity, you step into a kind of power that most people never experience. Clarity is not simply knowing what you want. It's understanding why you want it and choosing to pursue it with all your heart. Many people wake up every morning feeling lost, not because they are incapable, but because their mind is full of noise. They jump from idea to idea, dream to dream, path to path, hoping something will magically make them feel fulfilled. But life doesn't reward confusion. Life rewards direction. Think of your mind like a camera. When the lens is blurry, the picture doesn't come out right. You can have the most beautiful scene in front of you, but if the camera isn't focused, the image will be distorted. In the same way, you may have an incredible destiny waiting, opportunities waiting, blessings waiting, but if your inner lens is not in focus, you will keep missing what is meant for you. Clarity is the act of adjusting that lens. Suddenly, what felt complicated becomes simple. What felt overwhelming becomes manageable. What felt impossible becomes reachable. Many people spend years walking in circles because they never pause to ask themselves the most important questions. What do I really want? What do I want my life to look like? What kind of person do I want to become? Without these answers, life becomes a cycle of reaching for things that don't matter. You may achieve something only to realize it didn't bring you joy. You may follow a path society approves of only to discover your soul was waiting for something entirely different. Clarity saves you from these heartbreaks. It protects your time, your energy, and your future. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine someone who wakes up every day thinking, I want to be successful. But success to them is not defined. So, 1 month they try business. Next month they try fitness. Then they jump to YouTube, then photography, then something else. They keep shifting direction because they never clarified what success actually means to them. Does success mean financial freedom, peace of mind, influence, creativity, a healthy family? Until they define it, they will keep chasing shadows. But the moment they sit down and say, success for me means building a business that lets me support my family and create something meaningful, suddenly, every action becomes aligned, every choice becomes intentional, every step has purpose. Clarity turns ordinary days into meaningful ones. It transforms confusion into confidence. When you know what you want, saying yes becomes powerful and saying no becomes easy. You stop entertaining distractions. You stop chasing people who don't see your worth. You stop wasting energy on things that don't push you closer to your goals. You become selective with your time because you finally understand your direction. Think of a GPS. It can guide you only if you enter a destination. Without a destination, it cannot take you anywhere. Your mind works the same way. If you haven't set a destination for your life, you will always feel lost, no matter how hard you try. Clarity gives your mind the destination. Once the direction is set, even setbacks start to make sense. Even delays become lessons. Even challenges become opportunities for growth. Sometimes life feels heavy not because the path is wrong, but because your direction is unclear. When you lack clarity, everything feels like pressure. The smallest problem feels like a burden. But when you have clarity, you can distinguish between what truly matters and what doesn't. You begin to see that not every battle deserves your energy. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every distraction deserves your time. Clarity gives you wisdom. There is also a deep emotional power in clarity. When you understand why you want something, your heart becomes stronger. For example, think of someone who wants to get fit. If their goal is simply to look better, they may give up when it becomes hard. But if their clarity is, I want to be healthy so I can live longer, feel confident, and be strong for my family, that clarity becomes fuel. It becomes emotional strength. It becomes a reason to keep going even when motivation fades. Motivation can be temporary, but clarity is permanent. Motivation can rise and fall, but clarity becomes your anchor, your compass, your internal guidance system that keeps you steady even in storms. With clarity, you don't just dream, you plan. You don't just hope, you act. You don't just wish, you decide. Imagine someone sitting with a notebook, writing down their dream life, not because they want to impress others, but because they finally want to meet themselves. That moment of writing is powerful, because that is the moment their dream life shifts from imagination to intention. That is the moment confusion begins to fade. That is the moment clarity takes birth. When your mind is clear, opportunities that once seemed invisible suddenly become visible. People who align with your purpose start entering your life. And situations that once distracted you start falling away. It is almost as if the universe rearranges itself to support a mind that has clarity. My friend, clarity is not found in a rush. It is found in silence. It is found when you disconnect from the noise of the world and reconnect with the voice inside you. Sit with yourself. Ask the questions you've been avoiding. Be honest about what you truly desire, not what others expect from you, not what society defines for you, but what your heart knows is meant for you. Because once you decide with clarity, your journey transforms. Your confidence rises, your energy shifts, your soul aligns, your steps gain purpose, and your life begins to move in the direction of your dream. Not by chance, but by choice. Clarity is the beginning of all transformation, the seed of all success, the doorway to your dream life. And the most beautiful part, you can choose it today. Building strong habits is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself, because habits are the silent forces shaping your life even when you're not paying attention. Most people think success is about one big moment, one breakthrough, one opportunity that changes everything. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Your life becomes the sum of the small things you repeat every single day. Your habits are like the invisible threads that weave your future, one choice at a time. If your habits are weak, your life becomes shaky. But if your habits are strong, your life becomes stable, meaningful, and fulfilling. Think of a simple daily habit: waking up early. When someone starts waking up just 1 hour earlier each day, it may seem insignificant at first. No applause, no recognition, no immediate results. But what they don't see is that this one habit is quietly transforming them. In that 1 hour, they get time to think, plan, exercise, read, meditate, things that sharpen the mind and strengthen the soul. After a few months, while others struggle to find time or direction, this person is already ahead, not because they are smarter or luckier, but because their habits kept pushing them forward even on days when they didn't feel like moving. Habits are the roots of your destiny. If your habits are weak, your dreams have no foundation. But when you build strong habits, your dreams stop being fragile ideas and begin turning into reality. Every successful person you've ever admired, an entrepreneur, an athlete, an artist, a leader, they didn't rise because of talent alone. They rose because they trained their habits to support their ambition. Talent can open the door, but habits keep you inside the room. Look at a student preparing for an exam. One student studies a little bit every day, revising, learning, understanding. Another student waits until the last week, hoping to absorb everything in a rush. Who performs better? Obviously, the one with consistent habits. Life works exactly the same way. When you put in small efforts regularly, life rewards you. When you try to do everything at the last moment, life overwhelms you. Strong habits protect you from stress because they prevent you from falling behind. Let's take another example. Imagine someone who wants to get fit. On day one, the gym feels difficult, the muscles hurt, the motivation is high, but the discipline is low. Many people quit right there, thinking the pain means they aren't capable. But someone who understands habits knows that the first day is supposed to feel uncomfortable. The second day feels slightly better. The third day becomes manageable. And after a month, the gym becomes a part of their identity. They no longer say, "I need to go to the gym." They say, "I am someone who works out." That shift from action to identity happens only through strong habits. Because habits don't just change your routine, they change your self-image. They redefine who you believe you are. When you repeatedly do something, your brain starts accepting it as part of your identity. If you always procrastinate, you start thinking, I'm a procrastinator. If you always keep your promises to yourself, you start thinking, I'm disciplined. And without realizing it, your habits begin to shape how you see yourself and how you show up in the world. That's why building strong habits is essential not for others, not for society, but for your relationship with yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, waking up early, eating healthy, learning something new, working on your goals, you earn your own respect. You build trust with yourself. You show your mind that when you decide something, you follow through. And that creates a powerful inner confidence that no one can take away from you. Think about how habits work in daily life. If someone makes it a habit to read even 10 pages a day, they will finish dozens of books in a year. If someone saves just a small amount of money daily, they will accumulate wealth over time. If someone practices a skill for 20 minutes each day, whether it's speaking, writing, coding, or drawing, they will become exceptionally good within a year. The progress may feel slow in the beginning, but it compounds. Just like saving money builds interest, good habits build personal interest. Small improvements that multiply into huge results. Now imagine the opposite. Consider someone who wakes up late every day, scrolls social media for hours, procrastinates, eats poorly, avoids responsibilities, and keeps saying, I'll start tomorrow. Their life may not fall apart instantly, but over time, the habit of delay becomes the habit of disappointment. Each day they drift further from their dreams. They feel frustrated, not because they lack potential, but because their habits pull them backward while their dreams pull them forward. It is a painful tug of war that ends only when they choose better habits. Strong habits are like a loyal friend. They support you even when you're tired, unmotivated, or discouraged. They carry you through difficult days. They help you grow even when life feels heavy. They guide you when your emotions try to distract you. When motivation disappears, habits take over. That is their true power. The beauty of habits is that they don't require perfection. They only require repetition. You don't need to be extraordinary, just consistent. If you skip a day, it's okay. What matters is not perfection, but returning the next day. One small action repeated consistently is more powerful than a burst of effort done occasionally. When you build strong habits, you build the version of yourself your future needs. The confident you, the successful you, the disciplined you, the peaceful you. A dream life is built not on wishes, but on habits that support your goals day after day. Strong habits become your quiet superpower. They take you further than luck ever could. They take you higher than motivation alone ever will. They become the bridge between who you are and who you want to become. And once you build them, your dream life doesn't just become possible, it becomes inevitable. What do I want? Why do I want it? What am I willing to do for it? Focusing on daily discipline is one of the most powerful decisions you can make for your future, because discipline is the quiet engine that moves your life forward when everything else around you tries to pull you back. People often believe that success comes only from big achievements, massive breakthroughs, or sudden moments of inspiration. But in truth, success is built in the small, almost invisible moments, the ones where you choose to stay committed, even when it's uncomfortable, even when no one is watching, even when the results are not yet visible. Discipline is the bridge between intention and accomplishment, between dreams and reality. Think about something simple like brushing your teeth. You don't brush your teeth only when you feel like it. You don't say, "Today I'm not motivated, so I won't brush." You do it because you know the consequences of not doing it will eventually show up. That is discipline. You follow through, not because of excitement, but because of responsibility. Now imagine if you applied that same level of responsibility to your goals, your health, your career, your relationships, your self-growth. Imagine where your life would be in 6 months, 1 year, 5 years. Daily discipline means doing the small things consistently. It means waking up when your alarm rings instead of hitting snooze. It means finishing the task you started instead of leaving it half done. It means showing up for your goals even when your mind gives you 100 excuses. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect. Every disciplined action is a message you send to yourself saying, "I deserve a better life, and I am willing to work for it." Let's take an example of a student. Two students may have the same classes, the same teachers, the same opportunities. But one student studies a little every day, even when there's no exam coming. The other waits until the last moment. When results come, people say the first student is lucky or gifted. But the truth is simple. They practiced daily discipline. They understood that small, consistent efforts create huge advantages over time. Life doesn't reward the last-minute rush. Life rewards steady action. Or think of someone who decides to start running every morning. On the first day, they feel enthusiastic. The second day, maybe still okay. But by the third or fourth day, their legs hurt, their mind complains, and suddenly the idea doesn't seem exciting anymore. Most people quit right there. But the person who pushes through, who shows up even when it's painful, begins to discover something powerful. They learn that discipline creates momentum, and once momentum builds, progress becomes easier. Running becomes a habit, and habits create transformation. Daily discipline is not about being perfect. It's about showing up again and again. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Motivation may get you started, but discipline keeps you going. Motivation fades. Discipline remains. You may not always wake up wanting to chase your dreams, but if you have discipline, you will get up and chase them anyway. Discipline also protects you from your own mind. You know how the mind works. It loves comfort, it loves shortcuts, it loves the easy path. The mind will say, "Rest today, you can start tomorrow." It will say, "This is too hard, maybe it's not meant for you." It will say, "You deserve a break," even when the break is coming from fear, not from rest. Daily discipline trains your mind to obey your goals instead of your moods. It teaches you to act based on purpose, not emotion. One of the most inspiring examples of daily discipline comes from a simple act of prayer or meditation. People who meditate every day, even for 5 minutes, begin to notice changes in their patience, clarity, and emotional control. Not because 5 minutes is a long time, but because daily repetition trains the mind to stay centered. The peace they feel is not the result of one meditation, it is the result of hundreds of small, disciplined moments that rewired their inner world over time. The same applies to financial discipline. If a person decides to save or invest even a small amount every week, they may not feel rich immediately, but give it a few years, and that disciplined habit creates stability, freedom, and confidence. Meanwhile, someone who spends impulsively, without discipline, may struggle no matter how much money they earn. The difference is not income, it is discipline. Discipline also strengthens your character, it builds resilience, it creates mental toughness. When you train yourself to do hard things daily, you become someone who can handle challenges that others break under. Life will always test you through stress, setbacks, failures, disappointments. But if you've trained your mind through daily discipline, you won't fall apart easily. You stay grounded, you stay focused, you stay determined. There is also something deeply empowering about knowing you can rely on yourself. When you are disciplined, you don't wait for external motivation, external encouragement, or external circumstances to be perfect. You move regardless. And that independence is powerful. It means your progress doesn't depend on the weather, on people's opinions, on mood swings, or on convenience. It depends only on your commitment. In daily discipline, something magical happens, small victories accumulate. Each day you complete your task, your self-confidence grows. Each time you resist a distraction, your focus sharpens. Each time you push past resistance, your strength increases. One day you look back and realize that the person you've become is a result of these tiny, daily acts of discipline. Discipline is an act of love toward your future self. It is a promise you make every day. I will not give up on you. And when that promise is repeated consistently, your future becomes brighter, stronger, and more aligned with your dreams. So focus on daily discipline, not for perfection, not for applause, but for transformation. Because over time, discipline becomes progress, progress becomes growth, and growth becomes the life you once dreamed of. Stop comparing your journey, because comparison is the silent thief that steals joy, confidence, and progress without making a sound. It sneaks into your mind quietly, making you believe that someone else's success somehow reduces the possibility of your own. When you compare, you forget your own path, your own timing, your own purpose. The moment you stop comparing is the moment you start living. You see, life is not a competition. It's a personal journey of becoming. Think of a garden with different kinds of flowers: roses, sunflowers, tulips, lilies. They don't bloom at the same time. They don't grow at the same height. They don't look or smell alike. But each one adds beauty to the garden in its own season. Imagine if a sunflower looked at a rose and said, "Why am I not like you?" It would miss the chance to grow tall and bright in its own way. That is exactly how humans behave when we compare ourselves with others. We forget our unique design and force ourselves into shapes that don't belong to us. Many people today suffer not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they spend their energy watching someone else's chapter instead of working on their own. Social media has made this worse. We scroll and see perfect moments, vacations, success posts, smiling faces, achievements. But what we don't see is the struggle, the late nights, the failures, the tears. We compare our behind the scenes with someone else's highlight reel. And then we wonder why we feel inadequate. But comparison is a lie. It presents only half the truth. Let me share a simple example. Imagine two friends starting their careers at the same time. One gets a promotion quickly, the other struggles for a while. Now, if the second friend starts comparing, they may feel like a failure. But what they don't know is that their journey is building qualities: patience, resilience, wisdom that will help them in ways they cannot yet see. A slow journey is not a wrong journey. A delayed success is not a denied success. Life has a way of giving each person what they need at the right time, not when they want it, but when they are ready for it. You bloom in your own time, even if your time is different from those around you. Think of bamboo. For years, it shows no visible growth. You water it, but nothing seems to happen. People might even laugh and say, "Why waste your time?" But what they don't realize is that bamboo is growing underground, building roots so deep and strong that when it finally starts growing upward, it can rise almost 90 feet in just a few weeks. Some people are like bamboo. Their growth is happening away from the eyes of the world. But once they rise fast, strong, and unstoppable. When you compare yourself, you cut your growth, you disturb your peace, you weaken your focus, you lose your confidence. You forget your strengths. You begin chasing what is trendy instead of what is true to you. And in that process, you drift away from your own purpose. Have you seen children playing in a school race? Some run fast, some run slowly, some stop to laugh or wave at their parents. But all of them eventually reach the finish line. Now imagine if one child kept stopping every few seconds to check where the others were. That child would lose the race, not because they couldn't run, but because they couldn't stop comparing. Adults live the same way, always looking left and right, rarely looking forward. Let me give you a different example. Imagine someone starting a fitness journey. They see another person at the gym lifting heavy weights or running fast, and instantly they feel discouraged. They tell themselves, "I'll never look like that." What they don't see is the years of consistency that person put in, the days when they showed up tired, the mornings they woke up early, the sacrifices they made. Every result you see in someone else has a story behind it. And every story has chapters you cannot imagine. Instead of comparing, become curious. Instead of saying, "Why don't I have what they have?" say, "What can I learn from their journey?" Comparison makes you insecure. Curiosity makes you grow. Your journey is custom made. Your experiences, struggles, strengths, mistakes, and lessons, all of them are shaping you into a version of yourself that no one else can become. Imagine if all of us were identical, same strengths, same timing, same talents. Life would be boring, and the world would lose its richness. Your uniqueness is not a weakness. It's your greatest strength. There are people who are waiting for your timing to shine because your journey will inspire them. If you bloom later, you will inspire those who started late. If you rise slowly, you will inspire those who struggled. If you fail and rise again, you will inspire those who feel defeated. Your journey matters, not because it looks like someone else's, but because it is yours. When you stop comparing, You start appreciating your own steps, no matter how small. You value your progress, no matter how slow. You begin to notice your inner growth, not just your outer achievements. You learn to trust the timing of your life. You begin to see that success is not a destination. It is a direction. And as long as you are moving forward, even inch by inch, you are succeeding. Comparison creates pressure, but acceptance creates peace. When you accept that your timeline is different, your path becomes lighter. When you understand that your journey is unique, you stop rushing, you stop stressing, you stop forcing things to happen before their time. Life is not a race. Life is a journey of becoming the best version of yourself. And that version cannot be found by comparing. It can only be found by growing. So stop comparing. Start living. Start trusting. Start walking your own path with confidence. Your timing is perfect. Your pace is perfect. Your journey is perfect. Because it was designed specifically for you. Protect your environment. Because the people, places, and energies around you shape your destiny far more than you realize. You become what you surround yourself with. You absorb the moods, the attitudes, the habits, and even the beliefs of the people you repeatedly interact with. If your environment is heavy, draining, negative, or distracting, your life will begin to mirror that energy. But if your environment is uplifting, disciplined, peaceful, and growth-oriented, your life will begin to reflect that too. Think of a seed again. Even the best seed in the world cannot grow in toxic soil. It doesn't matter how much potential the seed has. If the environment is wrong, the seed will struggle. But place that same seed in fertile soil, water it, nurture it, give it sunlight, and watch how quickly it begins to rise, how confidently it begins to grow. You are that seed. Your environment is your soil. It either nourishes you or limits you. Let's take a simple example from daily life. Imagine someone who is trying to become healthier. They wake up in the morning motivated to exercise, eat clean, and take care of themselves. But when they step into their environment, the people around them mock their goals. Someone says, "Why are you exercising? It won't make a big difference." Someone else says, "Just eat this. One time won't matter." Another person laughs at their efforts. Slowly, their motivation weakens, not because they lack desire, but because their environment does not support their progress. If they were surrounded by people who encouraged them, who joined them for a walk, who motivated them to stay consistent, their journey would feel lighter, stronger, and more possible. Your environment influences your thinking. If you surround yourself with people who complain all the time, you will eventually start complaining. If you are around people who gossip, you will begin to participate. If your circle is full of people who fear change, you will start fearing it too. But if you sit with people who dream big, who speak positively, who work on themselves, who push you to improve, you will naturally start evolving, because energy is contagious. Attitudes are contagious. Mindsets are contagious. Look at your friendships. Some friends leave you feeling refreshed, inspired, calm, and confident. Others leave you feeling drained, insecure, heavy, or confused. That difference is your environment speaking to you. Pay attention to how people make you feel after interacting with them. Your emotional reaction is the most honest feedback you will ever receive. Protecting your environment does not mean cutting people off harshly or becoming rude. It means choosing wisely where you invest your time and energy. You don't have to hate anyone to distance yourself from them. You don't have to be angry to outgrow someone. Just as you do not have to keep wearing clothes that no longer fit you, you also do not need to stay in environments that no longer align with your growth. Let's use a practical example. Imagine two employees working in the same office. One sits with colleagues who talk negatively about the company, complain about every task, and discourage new ideas. The other sits with colleagues who brainstorm solutions, share growth tips, and lift each other up. Even with the same workload and the same job, their experiences will be completely different. One will feel drained and frustrated. The other will feel motivated and capable. Nothing changed except the environment. Even your physical environment matters. A cluttered room creates a cluttered mind. A messy workspace makes your thoughts scattered. But a clean, organized environment gives you mental clarity. Simple habits like keeping your room neat, having a calm corner for study or meditation, or surrounding yourself with books and positive reminders can transform your state of mind. When your environment is peaceful, your mind becomes peaceful. When your mind is peaceful, your decisions become powerful. Nature teaches us this lesson beautifully. Place a plant in a dark room and it fades. Move that same plant near sunlight and it comes alive again. Sometimes you don't need to change yourself. You just need to change your environment. The same applies to your dreams. If you share your dreams with people who laugh at them, you will feel discouraged. But if you share your dreams with people who believe in them, who guide you, who motivate you, your confidence grows. The right environment turns doubt into belief. The wrong environment turns belief into doubt. Many people fail not because they lack potential, but because they spend too much time with people who convinced them that their potential was not real. When you protect your environment, you protect your mind, your energy, your ambition, and your peace. Sometimes, protecting your environment also means protecting your time. Not every message needs a response. Not every invitation deserves your presence. Not every argument needs your participation. Peace is expensive. Don't give it away easily. Your time is precious. Don't waste it on things that do not help you grow. And remember, your environment is not only external, it's also internal. What you watch, what you listen to, what you read, and what you think all become part of your atmosphere. If you fill your mind with negativity, fear, or doubt, your inner world will become polluted. But if you fill your mind with wisdom, hope, knowledge, and gratitude, your inner world becomes a sanctuary. People often say, "Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future." But it's deeper than that. Show me your environment, your habits, your space, your circle, your content, and I'll show you the direction your life is heading. Protecting your environment is not selfish. It's necessary. Just as you lock your home to keep intruders out, you must protect your mental and emotional space. Not everyone deserves access to your mind, your heart, or your dreams. Choose wisely, because your environment silently builds your future. And when you choose the right environment, your growth becomes natural, your mind becomes stronger, and your life begins to align with your highest potential. Because clarity creates power, confusion creates delay. Most people fail not because they're incapable, but because they try to live everyone's life except their own. Live your dream, your dream job, your dream future, your dream identity. Transform your mornings, transform your environment, transform your circle. Because if you surround yourself with tired minds, you will never become inspired. Your dream life requires a new version of you, a braver you, a focused you, a disciplined you, a grateful you. Gratitude turns struggle into strength. Discipline turns effort into excellence. Faith turns waiting into preparation. My dear friends, success is not a one-time event. It is a lifestyle. Wake up with purpose, move with intention, speak with confidence, work with consistency, and rest with gratitude. Even if you are walking slowly, don't stop. Even if you feel scared, don't give up. Even if you feel alone, don't lose faith. Because every step is taking you closer to a life you will one day be proud of. Remember this, your future self is watching you today. Make them proud, make them grateful, make them whisper, "Thank you for not giving up on us." Your dream life is calling, not tomorrow,